Get ready to gear up. We're taking you inside high school sports, your home teams, your rivals. Taking you inside high school football like no one else. Inside all the action. Inside the excitement. Inside all the games that count. This is Whatauger's Inside High School Sports. Welcome to Whatauger's Inside High School Sports. I'm Pat Doney. It is state semifinal weekend in the state of Texas, and the Final Four had plenty of Dallas-Fort Worth representation. In 6A Division I, 6 of the last 8 state title games have had either Duncanville or Allen in it. Well, guess what? Let's make that 7 of the last 9, because one of them's going this year, too, as the Panthers and Eagles squared off in our Whatauger Game of the Week. But before one of them could book their spot at Jerry World, these two teams would have to settle at Mesquite's Memorial Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Duncanville's Trenton Yancey from the Wildcat bouncing it to the right side, and he's gone. 53 yards to the house. Just like that, the Panthers are up 7. And then check out this play right here, as big Leon Wood is going to take the give and then just keep churning those legs, being pushed from behind, fighting his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown, 14-0 Panthers. The Panthers have a lot of guys who can fly, and this time it's Joe McKinney who's going to serve up a mean stiff arm, and then he's off to the races. 58 yards before he gets taken down at the 2-yard line. Allen would hold Duncanville to a field goal, but the Panthers up 17-0. Allen does finally get in the end zone when Jeremiah Dowd sneaks in here. The extra point no good, though, so the Eagles down 11. Duncanville then goes to the air as Jacorion Rivers on a 4th down finds Zach Turner. It's a 25-yard touchdown. Duncanville gets the 31-9 win, and the Panthers will once again play for a state championship next week. DeSoto's Sherrod Baker has been unbelievable in the postseason and was looking to continue that against Southlake Carroll in the 6A Division II state semifinal. First half, Angelo Renda and Blake Gunter. Quite the combo. 3 touchdown passes in the first half, 4 for the game, and the Dragons would lead 27-14 at the half. Second half, Legend Howell dumps it to Baker. Sherrod showing why he's probably the DFW MVP, finding his way to the end zone, 56 yards. The Eagles cut the lead to 9. DeSoto kept plugging away in the fourth quarter. Jordan Stevens steps in front of the Angelo Renda pass and takes it all the way back for an 85-yard pick 6. Suddenly, DeSoto had this game tied at 37 and had all the momentum. But on the next drive, Davis Penn gets out of the backfield and is home free. 59 of his 202 yards. Southlake Carroll's back on top, 44-37. But hang on a second, because here comes Baker again. 366 yards on the ground. This 21-yarder here to tie it at 44. He would also score from 1 yard out to put the Eagles up 7. It all comes down to this 4th and goal. Dragons with 11 seconds left to play. Angelo Renda takes it himself, smells the goal line, but he's popped before he crosses the line. The refs called it a touchdown, but then later say no, he did not score. Baker would add a 99-yard touchdown the next play. DeSoto's headed back to state with a 57-44 victory. Another good one. Aledo and Frisco Lone Star battling with a trip to the state championship on the line. Lone Star hoping to knock off the 12-time state champs, but it was Aledo coming out swinging. Their first drive of the game, Bearcats running back Brady Powell's off to the races, 7-0 Aledo. Then it's more Bearcats. This time, Caden Wingfield scooting around the right side for a touchdown. Aledo out to a 14-0 lead almost immediately. But Lone Star has one of the best players in the state in wide receiver Davian Gross, who single-handedly gets the Rangers back in the game. This is Gross's second touchdown of the game, and it cuts the Aledo lead to 7. And then later, it's another Davian Gross touchdown catch from sophomore quarterback Trey Wright, who was outstanding. Gross had 4 touchdowns in the game. Aledo, though, led by 17 with 5 minutes left, but Lone Star cuts the lead to 3 with under 2 to play. And then it's the onside kick attempt by Landon Moore, and it's recovered by Davian Gross. He does it all, folks, and that sets this up in the final moments. Right to Zach Forbish, touchdown. The comeback is complete. Frisco Lone Star stuns Aledo 56-52 to advance to the state championship game next week. South Oak Cliff and Melissa got together Friday night at the Cotton Bowl to see who would play in their state championship next week. Golden Bears strike first. Mikhail Trotter straight up the middle from 9 yards out, muscling his way in. Sock's up 7-3 early. Sock then makes a great defensive play. Jyrian Hampton comes down with the football after the deflection, and he's off to the races. The pick 6 for Sock has him up 21-3. Melissa battles back, though, with quarterback Brett Holloway. He's going to drop back to throw, get flushed to the right, then decide to to keep it and dive in for the score. Holloway ran for 127 yards in the game, but Sock's running attack was just too tough to slow down. Trotter again up the gut, fighting his way in for one of his 4 rushing touchdowns. Southlake Cliff wins 35-17 and will once again play for a championship, and they'll face Richmond Randall. Stephenville taking on Celina in a 4A D1 state semi, and despite being knocked out of the last 2 games, quarterback Bo Bentley was ready to go for Celina in this one, and early on he did his work. First quarter, Bentley dumps it off to Carter Lorick for a 6-yard score. Celina's up 7-0. Second quarter, the Oklahoma commit Bentley does it himself here, 25 yards up the gut, and the Bobcats are up at halftime, 14-7. Second half, though, here come the Yellow Jackets. Trot Jordan firing one to Aiden Juergens. 10-yard score. We're tied at 14. Fourth quarter now. Celina up 21-14, but Zyler McClendon scores his 2nd touchdown of the night on the ground, and we are tied at 21. It comes down to this, 7 seconds left. Stephenville's Brighton DeVivo with a 45-yard field goal to send the Jackets to the state title game. It's good. Stephenville wins it 24-21 and will face Kilgore in the state championship. Peaster and Grandview playing for a shot in the 3A Division I state championship. Grandview down 3-0 when Mason Landers is going to hit Briggs Gents on the slant. He takes a hit, but check out the moves. He's eventually going to be caught and pushed out at the 1, but what a play there. And a couple of plays later, Jench takes the direct snap from and burrows his way in from a yard out. Nice play. Second half, Peaster grabs the lead. Hudson Sawyers breaking free, and he scores from 29 yards out. Let's go to the fourth quarter. Elijah Dominguez on the toss here, just going to fight his way in. Grandview holds off a late Peaster rally and wins it 21-18. The Zebras' first trip to the finals since they won it all both in 2018 and 2019. Class 4A Division II, Brock and Carthage met in the middle at Mesquite Memorial. Carthage coming in as the defending state champs. It did not take long for Carthage to score, and it did not take long for their star running back, Kelwin Edwards, to cover 83 yards. Before all the fans were in their seats, the Bulldogs had a 7-0 lead. Late in the first quarter, Brock ties it up on a nice pass from Holt Frazier over the defense to Davis Lee in the back of the end zone, and it's 7-7. But after Brock's 3rd turnover of the first half and 2nd interception, the coach's kid, Jet Surratt, throws his 2nd touchdown pass to Junior Henderson, and it's 28-7 at halftime. The Bulldogs scored again on their first drive of the 3rd quarter on a little toss to Jace Harris, and it was all Bulldogs from there. Carthage is going back to state after a 49-21 win. Well, as you saw, 2 11-6A teams were playing in the state semifinals, which speaks to the competition in that district. And we didn't even mention the tri-district champs at Waxahachie. Well, we are now, as this week's Parker University MVP is the Indians wide receiver, Cohen Brown. The go-to man for the Waxahachie Indians offense was wide receiver Cohen Brown. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for Cohen, all while playing in one of the top districts in the state, 11-6A, which showed he was Waxahachie's big play threat, as he also averaged 19 yards per catch and scored 19 touchdowns through the air. Over the last 2 seasons, Brown has caught 121 passes for the Indians. Cohen should be an excellent slot receiver at the next level as he's headed to the University of Texas. Double him, triple him, it doesn't matter. Cohen Brown's making plays and is in studio with us now with his new bobblehead. Congratulations, man. What do we think of the bobblehead here now? I think it's pretty good.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's to a T. The earrings to a T. My 2 arm sleeves, holding the football upright. I love it.
You got the cleats, the whole thing all the way down. Dude, it is so well deserved. It has been so fun watching you play. And to do it in 11-6A, that to me is what stands out. The district of doom, if you will.
Yes, sir.
And yet you still made plays. How much better did that competition make you better, you think?
Well, if you see both of the 2 teams that beat us this year are both going back to state championship, but that competition makes me way better because I'm going to play football in the SEC, and if you ask me, this is like our district is SEC high school football.
Yeah, no question. And yet you still made plays over and over again, and you did it right alongside your quarterback, Jerry Meyer. I know it's a guy who you really like a lot. What was it like playing alongside Jerry and making those plays, both of you guys showing up in big moments?
Man, it was great because Jerry's a great team leader. He's there when you're down, when you're up. He's a great person to have around.
And when you look back at your time at Waxahachie, I know you guys had some amazing moments. The win at Duncanville comes to mind this year. What do you think you're going to look back and say, I loved this about my time playing for the Indians there?
This year, Coach Tolly installed I love y'all more than I hate them mindset. So it's just about loving your team more than you hate the other opponent.
Love that. All right, so we've mentioned the fact that you can play inside and outside the slot or at the outside spot. Which one do you prefer? I mean, what is it that you like, and then why do you think you like that a little better?
I said the slot. I feel like I have more freedom. I can move around. Nobody's touching me constantly. I think I like the slot more.
A little bit easier to get away from those double teams because you know the teams were trying to take this guy away, and yet it didn't happen, and that's one of the reasons why you're headed to the University of Texas. Man, you could have gone just about anywhere in the country you wanted to go. Why was Austin, the Longhorns, the right pick for you to play college football, man?
Well, they've put people just like me in the league completely over and over again. They've proven it, and just I like playing the best competition. I play in the SEC of high school football. Now I'm going to go play in the real SEC. Cannot
wait to watch you on that stage, man. What an amazing career. Congratulations on the MVP bobblehead. Appreciate you joining us in studio, and good luck next season there, okay?
Thank you.
All right, appreciate you, man. All right, coming up next, the 72-year record was broken this week, and our inside story shows us how the Gordon Longhorns have made it to another state title despite major adversity. Stay with us. Our Kubota Country Roads takes us to Stephenville for a 3A Division I state semifinal game between Wall and Gunter, who'd won 3 straight state titles. And it's just 6-zip Wall Hawks, and with the ball, Landon York hits his 56th touchdown pass of the year. Kellen Oliver for 13 yards, 14-0 Wall with a 2-point conversion. Gunter needs freshman backup Tristan Barton to step in at quarterback, but his 4-yard touchdown run cuts the lead in half, 14-7 mid-third quarter. A Gunter safety makes it 14-9. Then this right here, Gunter back on the doorstep, and Jay Campiti makes him pay. Gunter roars back to take the lead, 17-14, with just 6:43 remaining. Wall has to go for it on 4th and 2, and check it out. They go for it all. York goes deep for Reed Robertson, and Wall is back up 21-17. Gunter needs a drive, but once again, it's defense. Wall's Dylan Sellers forces the sack fumble, and Ben Taylor recovers in the end zone, 28-17. The Tigers score late but can't convert the onside kick. Wall wins at 28-25, getting revenge for their playoff loss last year and ending the Tigers' run at a championship 4-peat. Muenster headed to Canyon to take on Gruver in a Class 2A Division II state semifinal. Down 18-14 in the fourth, Muenster's offense comes up big. Case and Carney, the 71-yard strike to Clayton Cunningham. That puts the Hornets up for good as they win it 21-18 and are back to the state title game looking for the repeat. To a record-breaking performance, last week Keegan Ash of Mount Enterprise broke a 72-year-old Texas high school record for the most rushing yards in a season as he finished with 4,557 yards this year. That record was held by Ken Hall, known as the Sugarland Express in 1953. This week, Ash surpassed Hall's career rushing record, finishing with 11,377 yards. That's 4th all-time nationally, but unfortunately, you will not see him at the state championships as Mount Enterprise lost to Shiner, but still congratulations to Keegan Ash. The Palo Pinto Mountain region has not experienced many tornadoes, so imagine the shock when a twister tore through the small town of Gordon. But as Jeff Power tells us in this week's Kia Inside Story, the Gordon community has bounced back the only way it knows how.
2025 will be remembered for 2 dates in Gordon, Texas, beginning with Sunday, May 18th, when an F1 tornado struck this town of close to 500 people located in Palo Pinto County, directly between Fort Worth and Abilene along Interstate 20.
We have no history of tornadoes in Gordon, and so we just really thought it would be a severe thunderstorm.
You know, within a matter of 3 minutes, it just hit, raised the roof of the school, and people dove into the storm shelters. Sounds just like a train coming through. Trees that you normally have known have been here for over 100 and something years were now snapped and laid over.
We went to check out the town, and it was a wreck.
Elementary had water damage and roof damage, and so it was dark, but we had news crews out here, and just immediately we saw the devastation over here.
The F1 tornado that hit Gordon High School is what they call a dead man walking tornado, as in 2 funnels, one in which went right across the field here of the 2-time state champion Gordon Longhorns, knocking down light fixtures, concession stands, demolished the scoreboard, total destruction here at the stadium.
The whole stadium was unrecognizable pretty much. It was just all destroyed.
Light poles down, our field house, the roof had blown off of it, and so we had our home visitor bleachers ended up in that creek behind us. It was just complete devastation.
The town of Gordon, although it didn't suffer any casualties, had to find a way to pick up the pieces and turn their lives back around for their kids.
At 6 a.m. in the morning, the entire baseball team and athletic teams were picking up trash and fixing up homes and cleaning the community.
Fast forward to Friday, November 7th, the first home game in almost a year. That's when the town bounced back the only way they knew how, with a 6-man football game and a district title with the playoffs on the line.
It was magical. It was also senior night and homecoming, so there was a lot to celebrate.
Oh, it was super exciting, just getting to actually play at your home stadium in front of your home crowd.
To be able to host a football game that over 2,000 people attended goes to show you to the fabric of what this community is, what 6-man football is to people.
13-0 Gordon won all 4 district games by a combined total of 254-0 and outscored their opponents this season 801-135, averaging 62 points per game.
They haven't lost a football game in 3 seasons. It'll be really nice to kind of end the season, hopefully, with that championship.
Gordon plays 12-2 Rankin Wednesday, December 17th at AT&T Stadium, trying to join Richland Springs as three-peat champions and stepping closer to Fort Hancock's 4 state titles in a row 35 years ago.
It's always been a dream to play football for the Gordon Longhorns. To win 3 state championships, it would just cement us in history as just one of the greatest.
It'd be really cool to three-peat and make a name for ourselves in the record books.
December football.
Jeff Power, Inside High School Sports.
Incredible resilience there. Thank you, Jeff. All right, when we return, we talk about a speedy wide receiver in Duncanville. Stay with us. Well, it was another state semifinal for Duncanville in the City of Champions. Kenny Matthews tells us in this week's East-West Shrine Bowl Next Level that on a team with nothing but track speed, one wide receiver really stood out.
Duncanville football has produced a lot of top-end talent over the years. As Oregon commit Decoria Moore walks out the door in 2024, there is an ace in Theus who steps in to fill that void. He is just not a football athlete. He's a standout on the track team as well. He ran on Duncanville's 4x200-meter relay team that smashed a national high school record with 1:22.25 seconds time in the 2024. The record-setting speed makes him a lead on the gridiron as well. On the field, he offers versatility, lining up wide, in the slot, taking handoffs, returning kicks, and even gadget plays. His game-breaking abilities make him a threat to score from anywhere. One trait that you cannot coach is high-end speed that he has. This allows him to use his yards after catch, which makes him so explosive. The TCU commit will be extremely hard to keep on the sidelines in Fort Worth next year. You can never have enough game changers on a team. The Frogs will try their best to get Asen on the field and let his natural game-breaking skills take over. Asen is a record setter in track and field, but he will dazzle the fans at Amon Carter Stadium with his electrifying returns and touchdown catches. The definitive dynamo is worth the price of admission as soon as he steps on the field.
He is very impressive. Thank you, Kenny. All right, when we return, we take a look back at some of the best plays from the regional finals. That's it for this week's show. We leave you now with some of the top plays from last week in our Plays of the Week segment.